Welcome into NFL Daily here on Chat Sports. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. You can give me a follow on Twitter at HGrahamNFL. More NFL news, rumors, and hey, I'll answer more of your questions over there at HGrahamNFL. Today's show here on Chat Sports, an NFL Daily Mailbag. We took some questions from you guys, and now we're going to answer them on today's show. So let's go ahead and start with Hunter Foster's question using hashtag NFL. If the Dolphins don't sign Malik Hooker, name a safety Miami could sign. So obviously a hooker is a name that continues to be out there and continues to be linked to several teams. He's visited with a lot of teams. The Dolphins have shown some interest, but if they don't go in the hooker direction, there are some players that I do think could make some sense for the Miami Dolphins. We just saw Jeff Heath get cut loose by the Las Vegas Raiders. Trey Boston is still out there as well. Kenny Vaccaro on the open market. A couple of other names out there also. I think these are three to keep an eye on for Miami if they decide to not go in the direction of Malik Hooker. As you Dolphins fans know, this defense is in very good shape, but you could certainly add another body on the back end. So keep that in mind, Hunter, in terms of free agency, some of the names still out there. If you're excited for football season, go ahead and like this video. The NFL schedule is out. It is released. A lot of big games this year. I am fired up for it. I know you guys are as well. Hit that thumbs up icon and like the video if you're fired up for football season. Ronald Lewis next up here. He has a Seahawks question. Which Seattle player gets an extension next? A lot of free agents after this following season. But I think the player you guys probably care about the most and want to know what's going to happen long term is Jamal Adams. What's going to happen with Jamal Adams? Obviously, Seattle paid 2 first-round picks to get him over from the New York Jets this past offseason, and you could argue if Seattle or the Jets won that trade, maybe it's the Jets so far, but if you traded that much capital for him, I think you got to work on an extension. I think getting him locked up long-term makes a whole lot of sense. Very productive player. Hopefully he improves in coverage, but this is a critical part of your defense moving forward. I think he's a player to keep an eye on for the Seattle Seahawks. Now predict the future for us. Where will Jamal Adams play after this year? He's a free agent after 2021. Type S if you think it's going to be the Seattle Seahawks, or you can type O if you think it's going to be a different team, aka other. Let me know what you guys think. I think it'll be Seattle, but go ahead and get your votes in. So that was Ronald Lewis's question asking about Jamal Adams. We'll go to our next question here on our NFL Daily Mailbag. Appreciate you guys for using hashtag NFL and getting your questions on the show. Tiny Timmy is up next here. Should the Falcons sign Le'Veon Bell? So Le'Veon Bell is a name that continues to float out there, and you know, when the Chiefs brought him on board last year from the Jets, I was like, oh man, he might be a big-time difference maker. Well, he was pretty pedestrian in the 2020 NFL season. Really has not been the same player since he decided to sit out that 1 year several years ago with the Pittsburgh Steelers, got the bag from the Jets, wasn't productive there. Certainly there were other issues in New York beyond Le'Veon Bell, but didn't play exactly that well with the Chiefs either. I mean, 4 yards per carry, okay, that's fine, but quite honestly, he looked slow last year. I think he's cooked. I think Le'Veon Bell is cooked in the NFL. Now, that doesn't mean bringing him in for a tryout or having him be, a mid-tier third down back who can still catch the ball pretty well isn't valuable. But if you think he's going to come in here and be some 900-yard back who can get 15, 20 carries a game, I just think you're mistaken. I think we saw Le'Veon Bell's peak come and go pretty quickly. He was good for 3, 4, 5 years. It's in the past, though. Like I said, ever since he decided to sit out that one season for Pittsburgh because he wanted a long-term contract, yeah, he got the bag from the Jets, but in terms of on-field production, we just haven't really seen it much since that time. Now, today's show is presented by Newsbreak. I love the Newsbreak app because, I'm a millennial, right? I'm not getting the newspaper anymore. I'm always on my phone, on my laptop, on my tablet, and you can download the Newsbreak app and get all of your local news on one feed when you go to chatsports.com/newsbreak. all of your local news, weather updates. You can follow politics, food, pop culture, sports articles, and videos, including videos from us here at Chat Sports and a lot of our YouTube channels. Go download the Newsbreak app today at chatsports.com/newsbreak. That's chatsports.com/newsbreak. That link will be in the comments. It'll be in the description. Go ahead and download it today and keep up with your local news. Chucky Smith is next up here on our mailbag. Could the Falcons trade Julio Jones to the Green Bay Packers? So Julio Jones trade rumors, Aaron Rodgers rumors, they're flying all over the place in the NFL right now. A, I don't think a Julio trade is super likely, but B, and I think more importantly to your question here, Chucky, is as far as Green Bay goes, don't you got to figure out what the Aaron Rodgers situation is? The Rodgers drama must be solved if you are the Green Bay Packers. You can't go trade for Julio if you don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. If you don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be a part of your football team in 2021. These are issues that the Packers and Rodgers have to sort through before they can make any type of major roster investments. And two, on the Falcons side of things, you kept Matt Ryan. You didn't draft a quarterback. I think you keep Julio Jones and you try to win with Arthur Smith for the next couple of years. You don't want to commit to a brand new rebuild if you don't have to. Julio, he's getting a little bit older. He's certainly having injuries pop up here and there now, but at 32, it's not like he's, it's not Le'Veon Bell where he's past his prime by a major, by a big gap there. I think he can still be a true number one receiver and be one of the best in the game. I don't think the Falcons will trade Julio Jones. But what do you guys think? We'll let you guys vote on this one. Will Julio Jones get traded? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get your votes in the comment section right now. Now, Chat Sports, we have several videos per day covering the NFL, the NBA, and a whole lot more for 100% free. What a deal. Nothing in life is free these days, but we are here at Chat Sports, so you see the link below, youtube.com/ChatSportsTV. Also, turn on the notification bell. That way you never miss a video here on Chat Sports. Marcus Johnson next up on our mailbag. If Aaron Rodgers goes to the Broncos, are the Chiefs still AFC West favorites? This would get very, very interesting, and I think the AFC West as a whole would get very, very interesting. I mean, could you imagine the quarterbacks in this division if this trade were to go down? You'd have Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, who I think is the best player in football. Aaron Rodgers, the reigning MVP, would be with Denver in this scenario. Justin Herbert just had arguably the best rookie season of any quarterback we've ever seen. And Derek Carr is no bum. He's a good quarterback as well. Now, as far as Mahomes, Rodgers, KC, Denver, I'd give the Chiefs the slight edge, but Kansas City has dominated this division for like 6 years now. That would not be the case, in my opinion. I think this would be a two-team race between the Chiefs and the Broncos, and it would come down to one of the final couple of weeks of the season. Remember, 17-game season. It would come down to Week 17, Week 18. I think the Chiefs would win it. I'd give them the edge, but it would be very, very interesting because Denver's got a good roster, and if you add Aaron Rodgers, that changes things dramatically in the AFC West. Be real with us. Who's the better quarterback here? Reigning MVP or who I think the best player in football is? Type AR for Aaron Rodgers. Type PM for Patrick Mahomes. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments section. Mike Nixon here, hashtag NFL. Which team will land Richard Sherman? This is the question everybody wants to know, so we'll talk about it yet again here on NFL Daily. Now, I think there's several teams that would show interest, and obviously Sherm last year, a little bit banged up, only played in 6-7 games this past season, still had an interception. He was great in 2019 when the 49ers went to the Super Bowl. I still think he has something left in the tank, but injuries have started to creep up on Richard Sherman in recent years. I put these 5 teams down because A, he's either been linked to these teams, or B, he said, I want to play with the contender and compete for Super Bowls for 2 or 3 more years. That second bullet point applies to the Chiefs. I think it applies to the 49ers and Seahawks. Obviously, he's been linked to those teams as well. He's been linked to the Jets. Robert Saleh, the 49ers defensive coordinator, is now the head coach in New York. And then it appears he's shown some interest in the Raiders as well, who could certainly beef up that secondary. There's other teams that could be in the mix there, but I think these 5 teams really stand out to me. So speak your mind. Which team will sign Richard Sherman this offseason? The draft is over. He said once it's over, he will start taking free agency seriously and sign with a team. Hasn't yet, not by the time we film this, but let us know what you guys think. Which NFL team will sign Richard Sherman? Ebon Schwartz gets the final word here. Will Tua and Jaylen Waddle be the next best wide receiver quarterback combination in the NFL? Also, will Tua have a breakout season now that he has some pretty good weapons? So, obviously, this is a big year for Tua because last year he was up and down as a rookie, got benched late in games for Ryan Fitzpatrick a couple of times, and he was up and down, right? Like, showed some good things, flashed a little bit, but also that Dolphins offense struggled to move the ball, but they also lacked weapons at times. Now you got a guy like Jaylen Waddle. You got these pieces coming together offensively. I think the offensive line will be improved this year as well. Tua and Jaylen Waddle could be a dynamic combination in the NFL. This is a big year for this Dolphins team because they've invested. They're good on defense. Now it comes down to finding out if Tua can lead this team to where this team wants to go. So it'll be fascinating. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Miami Dolphins this year. I think they're going to be a team to watch out for, no doubt about it. So, Jaylen Waddle, I think he's going to be a good weapon for Tua Tagovailoa.